Paul Wallin, senior partner of Wallin and Klarich, and I'm here with Matt Wallin, a partner at Wallin and Klarich. And with school about to start, we get many calls starting about now all the way through the school term when students are accused of committing certain misdeeds and what kind of things they can do to get them in trouble that could lead to being expelled or suspended. Matt has been doing school expulsion matters now for many years and has handled some amazing cases with some amazing results, but there are many misconceptions about how school expulsions work. So Matt, the first thing I'd like to ask you is, what kind of things can students do that can lead to them being expelled from school?
First and foremost, there's the California Education Code. It's similar to the penal code. There's a whole host of violations that each school, each public school has, ranging from what would commonly be a crime for an adult, drug possession, etc. There's also other crimes or other misdeeds or misconduct that's only a violation of school rules. So it can be a law that's broken, or it can just be a school policy that's broken that could lead to suspension or expulsion.
Okay. So when the police come to the school and they want to speak to a student, does the student have the right to not talk to the police? What would you advise them?
Every case is unique and different, so I can't speak in the abstract, but there needs to be a plan in place. What I always recommend is that parents speak to their kids and their children before an incident occurs, so that if they wind up in their principal's office with the principal and an officer, they kind of know what they're going to do. For example, always requesting your parent to be present or asking that another supportive staff member be present. The bottom line is you don't have a Fifth Amendment right to remain silent like you would as an adult or in the criminal context. In school, you're more limited in terms of your search and seizure rights and your Fifth Amendment rights. So technically the school can require you to make a statement in writing or orally, even without a parent being in the building or present.
Okay, so does a parent have the right to be present when their child is being interviewed by the police?
No.
They do not?
Not when it comes to schools and school investigations. They absolutely do not. Sometimes parents don't find out until first the schools interview the student, then law enforcement, and then conveniently the parents get alerted sometime after.
Social media is very frequently talking about sexting and how that is now affecting juveniles. Does that play out in the school, and how does it play out?
Yeah, I'd say more than half of my cases involve something electronically related, be it online bullying or sexting. Nowadays, with everyone having a cell phone and sending texts, you'll see sexual harassment or bullying having to do with some explicit messages exchanged between students in various ages.
Is sexting sufficient grounds to have a child expelled from school?
Certainly could be, yes, depending on the context. It could be criminally prosecuted and lead to suspension and expulsion.
Well, why is it important to have a lawyer like yourself represent a student if he's facing expulsion? What can you do to help the family avoid possibly being expelled?
Yeah, I think the overarching theme is that schools, intentionally or not, sometimes hide the ball in terms of what a student and family's rights are, in terms of your right to an attorney, your right to confront and cross-examine your accuser or accusers or the witnesses, your right to review the evidence to be used against you. So I would just tell parents and students that read the small print and hire a lawyer to go over the evidence to determine the strength or weakness of the case. Otherwise, you're going to get railroaded, most likely.
Is it beneficial for the family to have a lawyer in terms of negotiation skills and getting a better result?
Yes, I don't think it matters whether or not the student, quote-unquote, did it. If someone did it or didn't do it, they both equally need an attorney. The ones that did it, where there's sufficient proof, need an attorney to mitigate what's going to happen, what kind of black marks going to be on their record, and how is it going to follow them through the rest of their educational career and beyond.
Can you give us an example of one or two cases you've handled that looked very grave for the student that ended up turning around when you took over the case?
One of the ones that comes to mind is a younger student, I think it was a fourth grade student, was making brownies for the school, and she decided to put laxatives in the brownies as a prank or a joke. The school didn't take it that way. This is her first disciplinary action, and she was up for expulsion. So we had to put on a full hearing, bring in all the supporting evidence. It was one of those cases where it's not a whodunit, it's what should we do with this student. who's obviously still developing your frontal lobe, doesn't have all of the skills needed to make the right decision. So you were successful in getting her back into the same school on a certain program, so she stayed on the straight and narrow.
And in that case, didn't in fact the teacher consume that and her family consume it and had some medical issues?
Correct.
So that was a very good result.
Yes.
So would you advise any parent where the child is facing expulsion to contact us, at least to have a consultation with you so you can guide them as to what they should be doing?
Absolutely. The main thing that you need to understand is that if your child is facing an expulsion, you can't simply remove your child and put him into a new school. It's not that simple. Not during the pendency of the case. So you need to have the case vetted by a skilled school expulsion attorney.
And isn't it true that if you're in high school and you get expelled and now you want to go to college, that's going to be known and that's going to impact them in college?
Very likely.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Matt. Nowadays, education and how you do in school and how that impacts what you do after school and whether you get into college, for most parents and their children, probably nothing more important than having a good academic record. If, God forbid, any of your children have a problem at school in any of these ways, we're available at Wallin and Klarich 24/7. It would be very wise for you to contact us before your student meets with the administration and before you meet with them. Anyway, if you have any questions about this, feel free to live chat us or call us at any time, and we'll be glad to help you. And we'll see you all next week. Thanks.